I do not hate drama channels. It's not something that I would personally ever do with my career, but I do not hate them. I don't sit around and talk like, oh my God, like, no, like that's their thing. Honestly, that's their business. That is their business. They sit around talking bad about us for a business. That's how they get their paycheck.
Hey, what is up, you guys? It's Dustin, and I'm back with another video. How are you doing, Nick?
I am doing great. How are you?
I am pretty good. Got my little cherry limeade here and my Law Nerd cup that Emily sent me, and I wanted to come on here and talk about Jeffree Star. Lately, Jeffree Star has been supporting Jaclyn Hill out of nowhere, and I want to kind of remind people of what Jeffree Star has said against Jaclyn Hill in the past, because I think it's important to note these types of things.
It's nice that Jaclyn Hill does have a supporter, though.
One.
It's nice to see.
One influencer supporter.
Nice to see.
So we all know that Jeffree Star has been on this comeback tour. He dragged Michaela.
Podcast tour.
And then he went on the BFFs podcast and he said that James Charles should be in jail, cell block 8.
First thing that comes to mind is cell block 8 prison. This person should be behind bars.
Well, he didn't just keep it to James Charles. He talked about a few other of his ex-friends from the beauty industry as well. And he did not say the nicest of things about them.
Well, to refresh everyone, a couple weeks ago, Jeffree Star was promoting Jaclyn Roxanne. He had the one earring in the ear, and he swore that he had thousands of messages of people asking him where he got this earring. Now, I don't necessarily believe that, not one bit.
I am still under the impression that he had the one earring on because that was the only way that anybody was going to notice the earring and ask him what it was, or like, why do you have one earring in? He swore on his Instagram story that he used to do that back in the day, like he was the queen of wearing one earring. It was just such a weird thing for Jeffree Star to promote, because you know that Jeffree Star is not getting down with some Jaclyn Roxanne jewelry. Jeffree Star is not going to be wearing that knockoff bullshit.
No, no, not at all. So with that said, it's kind of shocking for me to see Jeffree Star actually promoting Jaclyn Hill and Jaclyn Roxanne, because in the past, Jeffree Star has not really said too many favorable things about Jaclyn. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Well, let's not forget that Jaclyn Hill did give a shout out to Jeffree Star as well in one of her most recent videos. It was probably the most recent one from like 3 months ago.
I don't want to hear it. I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments like, I can't believe you support Jeffree Star. Like, I already know, because Jeffree is one of those people that the second that his name comes out of someone's mouth, it's like, you're canceled. I am so sick of cancel culture. I am literally anti-canceling anybody or anything. Like with the whole Michaela lash drama, I had thousands of people asking me to review that mascara or to talk about it. And I'm like, I am not God. I am not here to judge. This is a great lash curler. I'm using it. Leave Michaela alone.
Where she was talking about the eyelash curler.
Yes.
So maybe he was just like tossing it back to her like, hey girl, us OGs have to stick together. Because not many people are out there publicly supporting Jaclyn Hill and publicly supporting Jeffree Star, at least on the larger scale.
Yeah. I totally think that it could be something like that. Like she threw him a bone, he threw her a bone, but still we have to talk about it because Jaclyn Hill has pretty much plagiarized everyone that she possibly could, in my opinion. In the jewelry industry, in the cosmetics industry, you name it, Jaclyn Hill has pretty much copied it and put her name on it.
Oh, and now the brands are fighting back. Like people are starting to have a voice of their own. The jewelry companies are calling her out. Marlena has been sitting down to talk about her. She's going to be going on podcasts.
It's going to be a big deal just because Kendall Rae is involved, and you guys know when I spoke about Michaela and her talking about Michaela, that was a big deal to me, so I am ready to watch this.
We should just clear up as well that Kendall Rae was not friends with Jaclyn Hill.
She was
I know that
not.
he misspoke one time,
I did.
but she is not friends with her.
I was quickly corrected.
Certainly not. We do apologize.
But getting back to Jaclyn, we all know that she's pretty much copied everything that she possibly could. She hasn't had an original idea in her brain at all, if you ask me. That's my personal opinion. But that is something that Jeffree Star has been super duper vocal about on his Instagram and YouTube videos. And most notably, he called Huda Beauty out for copying Beauty Bakerie. It was a whole long drawn out thing. And I'll just let Jeffree Star explain it for you guys.
This product came out. What is this called? This is the Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. Now, I'm all for people being inspired by other brands, but when you literally steal the exact concept and photo shoot from a indie brand, how do you sleep at night? That's the real tea. How do you sleep at night? So I'm gonna use this right now on camera, and I really don't want to, but we're gonna do it anyway. This is what we're all about, is full face of makeup we're throwing out. Now, what is the tea on this? You may say, Jeffree, I don't even know what you're talking about. Well, Let's throw up a few images. There is a indie brand that we have used on this channel. I've actually reviewed it. That is called Beauty Bakerie. It is a Black-owned brand from a beautiful woman that actually survived cancer. She started her makeup brand and she is really flourishing. But she's still a very small company and they are very indie compared to the giant of Huda Beauty. This ad campaign and the entire collection was revealed online, and every single comment on Trendmood and on everyone's pages was like, you literally stole her concept. Huda has really never acknowledged it. She's just keep it moving, making her money. I don't like that. Now, Beauty Bakerie, if you have not heard of them, have been out since 2011. Their packaging looks like this. Everything is about baking and cake, and it's their full aesthetic. I mean, hi, are you guys kidding me right here? So everything is all about cake, baking, mixing. This actually came in a literal flour, like you're in the kitchen making like cookies with flour. So the entire packaging idea was stolen, and I don't understand why. Why are you stealing someone else's whole entire concept? And the fact that she's never really acknowledged it really bothers me. I think she's just gonna think that, oh, well, whatever, people won't care in a month and we'll make all of our money. So that kind of sucks. Oh, wow. I mean, the formula is actually not that bad, bitch. That's actually pretty sad because I would love to support this collection, but if you were gonna steal from people and not acknowledge it, can't relate.
So many of you guys guessed it, but I've given a ton of hints away, if I'm gonna be honest, because I'm so excited about this. But this is the Cuddle Me Throw.
So Jeffree Star pretty much dragged Huda across the coals for copying Beauty Bakerie, rightfully so, because I think that was up. Huda knew what she was doing. She has a research and development team. It was way too similar, and I think I made a video about that when it happened. But Jeffree Star has also called out Kylie Jenner and accused her of copying his brand in some way. So Jeffree Star has been super vocal about people copying and how they need to be original and things like that. So it's kind of hypocritical for me for him to be supporting Jaclyn, who is like well known for ripping people off.
I really do think that Jeffree Star just feels bad for Jaclyn Hill at the end of the day. I think that he knows that some of her businesses are not doing what maybe they once were, especially with this whole Jaclyn cosmetic. I think they're saying that Jaclyn Hill might not be renewed in her contract for the amount that she was gonna get. So maybe he knows that, and maybe he's like, girl, let me throw you a fucking bone. Now, what I can say is after Jeffree Star was wearing that one gaudy ass earring, it still did not sell out. It did not. It did not, because people over on Reddit were checking and not one item moved.
But I do think that a lot of these influencers that we talk about, like Jaclyn Hill, Laura Lee, Manny, and all these people that we've made all these videos about, they're losing their influence. Like, they still have influence, but it's not at all what it used to be.
It's because of the TikTokers.
It is because of the TikTokers.
That's why they would secretly be happy if TikTok went away. I mean, because if TikTok went away, one, I don't think it's going to be overnight, but I really do not think that like 95% of those people could do long form content because they're pumping out such quick videos. Like, could they do it? We saw how uncomfortable Michaela was when she sat down to do that video with Nikki Tutorials. Do you think that she could carry a channel on her own?
I just don't think she would.
I kind of feel like she could. Like, if she was doing it by herself, I totally feel like
I think she could. I don't think she would, because I don't think Michaela wants to put that much work into it, because I think she really likes what she does, but if she had to sit down and film and edit and do all that different shit and not on her phone, it would be a different story. I don't think that she would put out as much content as she does now.
I feel like she would start posting a lot of reels and a lot of YouTube shorts. Maybe she would take over that channel that she's not affiliated with.
Yeah.
And then she would just have like a jump start right there, because I think it has like 200 something thousand last I checked. I haven't checked in a good long while, so I'm not exactly sure.
Now, getting back to Jeffree and why I think it's hypocritical for him to be supporting Jaclyn in this way. Do you remember when Jeffree Star called out that other social media person, I think her name was Michelle Dye, for having an approved series because that was his thing and he copyrighted it and trademarked it and all of that?
I do remember that, and now I'm just thinking about all these influencers that are now using the is approved thing. Like James Charles has, is it James Charles approved? Bethany Frankel is out there doing Bethany Frankel approved. So I wonder if Jeffree's gonna have that kind of energy going after people over on TikTok. And he's gonna yell at people on TikTok too, like, I was the original. Because you know, he brought it up when he was talking about Michaela. He was like, I used to be the queen. That used to be my thing, and now I passed it on to you. Like, that's the way he was talking. That is literally how he was talking.
But I went back on Twitter and I remember Jeffree Star actually also being called out for allegedly copying, I think it's Lorac, when he came out with the Bloodlust palette, because I came across this tweet and it says, I gotta know one thing, with all the fucking money he's made, why did Jeffree Star use the same packaging as Lorac 2014 holiday collection? Invest in making something different maybe, hashtag Jeffree Star. And they put the original tweet that I was talking about earlier where he shaded Kylie Cosmetics and basically said that she copied his brand. And then they put a comparison of this Lorac palette against the Bloodlust, and as you can tell, is that an octagon?
That's an octagon.
I'm pretty sure that's an octagon. It is
Mm-hmm.
octagon in shape, but that's where the similarities pretty much end. I did make a video about that. I should have went back and rewatched my old video. But that's not the only thing that I found interesting about him showing support to Jaclyn. Now, you guys know that Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson made this conspiracy collection series, and they got everybody invested in it, but they also had some bloopers and outtakes that were put into a different video by Shane Dawson, and they actually shaded the absolute hell out of Jaclyn.
As did everyone.
As did everyone, but you guys check this out.
What are you doing over there? Until you really know what's going on over there, you better remember to refuse to talk or review about Jaclyn's lipsticks on my channel until she figures out what's happening, but then Shane forced me to at his house. Does that one have mold in it?
Yeah. The little black dots.
Wait, the little black dots in there?
Oh yeah.
Wait, I haven't seen
Show me
any.
right now, I'm dying.
And just like Jaclyn's lipsticks, Harry the house.
That's so crazy. So what actually happened? Because like, it's like my PR box, they're all hairy. Like to a point where it looks like I rubbed it on my dog.
I'm on year 5 of making makeup. I have never seen labs wear white furry gloves. Right. First of all, who would do that? But on a real level, as a business owner, I can't fucking fathom what is going on.
I mean, I think the containers are, do they put like melted lipstick into molds? Is it molds that make them? Maybe all the molds had like hair and plastic and shit in them.
It doesn't make sense. Its way out of it.
What do you think she's gonna do? Is she like...
She needs to get the fuck on camera.
Got it.
I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe this happened. My lab fucked me. Like, oh my god, I'm so horrified. Everyone's getting a refund. And these things happen. You want me to be really real? People thought there was a hair in my highlighters a few years ago. It was, you know, when you're cleaning the machines with the paintbrush, the brush bristle hair, one of them fell into one of the pans and it popped up, and I was so horrified in the lab. Now it's switched in all of California. You don't use those brushes anymore. Because of my bitch ass, my incident. Why does she always have a problem with every launch? I feel horrible for her. I don't understand.
So what's interesting about that clip for me is when Marlena was doing her rant over on Reddit, she commented back to somebody. It was either a comment on Reddit or she did it over on Twitter. She commented back and she said that Jeffree was actually in her DMs and he was talking about Jaclyn and the fuzzy glove. So it didn't just fall with the Shane Dawson
I would
series.
honestly believe that. I don't have any of my old messages with Jeffree, but I think I was talking to him around that time, and I remember him making fun of it. I can't remember exactly what he said, but there was something about some
Well, girl, they
fuzzies.
all talk shit about each other.
Yeah, they do.
all fucking talk shit about each other behind the scenes. It's not surprising. Everybody at that time would be lying to you if they said they did not have an opinion on Jaclyn Hill's lipstick.
Oh, of
Even
course.
some of her closest fucking friends.
Patrick Star.
Yes.
His clip to this day
Yes.
still makes me belly laugh when I think about it.
So I'm just here editing, but Zack is here. My friend Zachary. So he separated the ones that have hairs and the ones that have holes.
And that's something else. If you just watch that clip that I put in here that was in that snippet that didn't make it into the documentary, he was shading her about mold in her lipsticks.
Does that one have mold in it?
And then he said that Shane made him review her products.
Yeah.
So to me, that doesn't sound like someone that actually likes Jaclyn. So it's just weird for him to be promoting her as much as he has recently.
One has holes and one has mold. I don't think there are many people in the beauty industry that honestly have real friendships. I'm not saying that for everyone, but I do think there are a lot of fake people out there, and I do think there are a lot of people that talk shit about others behind their back.
Out of all of them, I think that Manny and Laura actually really
Yes,
are friends. I
for
think they
sure.
really are best friends,
Yeah.
regardless of what I think about them. I think that they have a really strong bond. They're together all the time, and it shows.
Yeah, but name another.
I can't really name another.
No, I'm really trying to fucking think of one.
I am too.
Who is still friends with who?
I don't think they're really truly friends, but you know who's still friends through thick and thin, scandal and all?
Who?
James Charles and Manny.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I feel like the only friendship that Manny has honestly like stepped away from is the one with Jeffree, because you know, even after Gabriel Zamora said that he was scared of Manny standing downstairs from his apartment, thought that Manny was gonna whoop his ass after all the shit happened. Like, they're friends again. It's just Jeffree. Jeffree's out there on his own island.
But the cherry on top of all of this is, and this has nothing to do with Jeffree, I'm just throwing this in. I remembered when I was doing a little bit of research for this video, Jaclyn Hill tweeting out saying, it's still crazy to me that they legit copied my palette and acted like it was nothing. And she was talking about Crown Brush.
The nerve.
Like, girl, out of everyone in the building, you are the one person that can't say anything about copying anything.
I'm telling you, I honestly do believe that Jaclyn thinks that she's just the originator of all of these things and that all these other people are copying her.
There was not a trend before Jaclyn Hill uploaded her first YouTube video.
It's gotta be.
She made it happen.
There's got to be like a tick there or something. Something's not clicking.
Oh, apparently Laura was begging to get into a party saying she's famous and trying to use her famous birthday as an ID. But you guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below what you think of all this. Do you think it's a little hypocritical for Jeffree Star to be promoting Jaclyn Hill when she's copied everything under the sun? And he's been so vocal about calling people out in the past for copying him and for copying other brands. It's giving a little bit of hypocrite, but you guys, if you guys made it this far in this video, leave me a green heart emoji down below. I'm gonna make it easy on you guys. I really do appreciate you guys that show me that you make it through my videos. But with all that said, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, and we will see you all in my next one. Bye.